Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 worst tech tree lines you guys can possibly grind, and I'm 200% sure that these will definitely affect your statistics. So if you're not that good at the game, if you're kind of a new player, and if you don't have enough free XP to actually get your tanks to a higher module, then don't bother going for these. So we're going to be starting right off, and at number 5 I'm definitely going to be putting the STB line. Now the STB itself is a great medium tank. If you're good with mediums, this tank is going to be amazing. It's got decent mobility, it's got really decent turret armor, which is really good, and it has insane gun depression. So overall the STB is an amazing tank. But the Cheery, the STA1, the Type 61 are just horrendous. They are horrible and they are unbearable to play, and I would definitely suggest you guys to free XP them. Now if you're really good, you can actually try and play this tech tree line, but again, it's going to be a challenge, so I'd rather you guys to actually free XP this. At least get to the higher modules on the tanks, because in stock form, they're going to be completely horrendous. At number 4, I'm going to be putting the Death Star line. This could technically also be at number 5, but they're both interchangeable. But the Death Star line is completely garbage. If you're a new player, I've seen a few players go for the Death Star as the first tank they open at tier 10, and that is a bad choice. The tank is horrible if you're a new player. It's okay if you just want to have fun, but to actually play the game and to understand the game, this is really bad. Overall, the AT-15, the AT-7, the AT-8, and the Tortoise are all horrendous. They are horrible. I have no other words. They are slow. Yes, the DPM is quite good on them, but that's all you have. They're very slow. They don't have the best camo, and overall, the gameplay is quite sluggish, and it's going to be a very boring experience, especially if you're a new player. So I definitely suggest you guys to skip these tanks because they are really bad. Next up, we have the VK7201K, and the actual tier 10 isn't too bad. I would consider one of the worst tier 10 heavies, but overall tier 10 tanks are quite balanced and they aren't too bad. They're bearable to play, but the VK4502A and the VK4502B are both garbage. The E75 and the Tiger II at the same tier for the E100 tech tree line are way better than both of these tanks. And the tier 8 and 9 are just horrendous here. Let's be honest, they are really bad, and I would definitely suggest you guys to free XP it like I did, or at least get to the higher modules, because overall both of these tanks at tier 8 and 9 are really bad in comparison to other tier 8 and 9 heavy tanks, especially the E75 and the Tiger II. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think a lot of people will, because everyone knows these tanks are garbage. Next up, I'm going to be putting up the line on the Foch. Well, the Foch tech tree line. We have the ARL V39, the AMX AC46, the AMX AC48, and the Foch at tier 9. All of these tanks are quite bad, at least in my opinion. A lot of people will think the tier 9 Foch is quite good, but let's be honest, the armor is the same, which is really good. However, the gun is just horrendous. The 400 Alpha without any reasonably good DPM in comparison to tanks like the SU-122 just makes this tank really bad. You're going to be poking out and you're going to be smacking people for 400, and then you're going to be trying to get back. You don't have the HP for it. Everyone loads gold when they see the Foch anyway, so your armor isn't going to play a huge role, and overall it's just going to be complete suffering. The Foch at tier 10 isn't any better, let's be honest. The Foch is just way too bad. At least the gun makes the gameplay unbearable, because the gun isn't stable enough for a proper gameplay. You always miss with it. Even if you're like 20 meters away from someone, it's way too RNG based, and I wouldn't suggest you the Foch if you are a new player. Now, the number 1 line, or the last line I would say, is probably the IS-4 line. Overall, the IS-4 itself is an amazing tank, but the KV-3, KV-4 and ST-1, especially in stock form, are just going to be completely horrendous. So unless you have free XP to actually get the ST-1 to the top module, I would recommend skipping the IS-4, going for the IS-7, and then getting this tank. But with that, this video comes to an end. If you guys enjoyed it, smash the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.